Hi everyone, welcome to our podcast. I am your host today. My name is Hilmawan Afizi. My student ID number is 642550006 from Faculty of Economic and Business Management BSI University. Since both of us are working professional who study at the same time, today we want to talk about something we often see around campus, smoking. I invite my colleagues, but first of all, would you introduce yourself first?
Of course. Hi everyone. My name is Maria Nawitin. You can call me Reva. My ID study number is 6425555 from Faculty Economic and Business Management Study at the University.
Okay, Reva. Who also work full time while studying? Reva, mind you sharing your first impression about smoking on campus?
Sure, I wouldn't mind at all. Honestly, after a long day at the office, I sometimes see my coworkers smoking near the parking area, and it makes the air quality quite bad.
That's exactly the issue I want to discuss. From your point of view as someone who work in the office, do you think smoking should be allowed in certain areas on campus?
Personally, I think it depends. A study published in the Journal of Public Health Innovation 2025 has shown that smoking has had a negative impact on a healthy campus environment. Furthermore, the study explained that students who super smoke-free are usually don't smoke or only smoke occasionally.
That's interesting. Could you please explain a bit more about how this connects to our daily routine as employer who study at night?
Of course, based on ELKI article, many campuses have already created smoke-free policies, but the enforcement is still weak. For us, who usually arrive late after work, the smoking near the entrance is uncomfortable to pass through every evening.
I completely agree. Since secondhand smoke can also affect our performance the next day at the office.
I suggest providing a smoking area far from classroom and office, instead of banning smoking completely.
That sounds like a fair compromise. Now, on the other hand, do you think there's a reasonable argument from the smoker side, especially among working students?
Yes, some working students smoke to reduce stress after a tiring day, so a total ban might feel unfair. However, the campus should not ignore the health risks. Always remember that secondhand smoke affects everyone around us.
True. I'm sorry to interrupt, but could you please share what the research says about enforcement at other campus?
Don't worry, research shows that without participation from the academic community, smoke-free rules cannot work effectively.
This has been a really helpful discussion for someone like me who work and study every day.
I'm glad to hear that. I apologize if some information sound too technical.
Now that all, let's quickly recap. First, smoking affect air quality on campus. Then it impact the comfort of working students. And finally, clear and consistent rules are needed to balance both sides. So please be more mindful of where you smoke, especially around shared space on campus. Thank you.
Welcome back for the second topic. I'll be your host. As people who commute to work every day, this is issue probably affect us the most. The recent fell price increase. Since you have been following the news closely, would you mind explaining what's actually happening right now?
Sure, I will be happy to. Basically, the price of Pertamax has gone up significantly, and this has triggered a domino effect across my product.
Could you please break the domino effect down for us step by step?
Sure. First, there's a mismigration to cheaper fuel when Pertamax becomes more expensive. People who used to use this immediately switch for Pertalite because it's subsidies and cheaper.
That makes sense. I myself been thinking about switching my motorcycle to Pertalite too to save money on the outfit.
Exactly, and that's the problem. Then, as more people switch, demand for Pertalite explodes. But its supply is limited because it's subsidized with a fixed quota. According to YLKI and several DPR Commission members and the journal from Pohan Alfarisi from 2023, this migration must be anticipated seriously, or it will trigger supply disruption and even fuel scarcity in several regions.
So after the migration, the next domino is Pertalite carried along pages at the station, right?
That's correct. Reports from Dunia Energi and DPR RI explain that once the Pertalite quota runs out, faster than expected, queues at gas stations become longer, and in the worst case, some area experience real shortage.
As someone who drives to work every morning, I can imagine how stressful that would be, especially if I'm already running late.
Definitely. Then the third domino effect is rising logistics and transportation costs. They have to raise their service costs to cover the extra expense.
I see that happening already. My online shopping delivery fee have increased a bit recently, actually.
Right. And finally, the last domino effect is inflation and rising price of basic goods. The price of products like eggs, chicken, vegetable, and anything else.
That's quite concerning for us as working students. Our salaries stay the same, but our daily expenses keep increasing.
Exactly. I'm sorry if this sounds a bit pessimistic, but it will be wise for all of us to start budgeting more carefully and using public transportation when possible.
I also suggest carpooling with coworkers who live nearby, since it can really cut the fuel expense for everyone.
That's a great idea. Please also keep checking official announcement from Pertamina so we know the real condition of fuel supply in our area.
Thank you so much for explaining a complex issue in a way that's easy to understand. Hello,
You're welcome. I apologize if I explained the economic part with too fast.
not at all. To warm up, first, the price hike triggered migration to subsidy fell. That is causes scarcity and long quizzes next. Logistic costs rise and finally inflation hits all of us, especially working students.
Well said. Thank you all.
Thank you all. Bye bye.
Bye.